Okay, happy Friday. Let's get this zoomed up and in. I'm going to be, this is a top 5, this is a giveaway, nice positive happy Friday video. If you're interested in the AP80 Pro X by Heidi's, comment below this video. Start doing some DAPs because I'm going to be doing some DAP reviews, so if you want to score a DAP, comment below this video. I'm going to also give away the 7 from 5A. That'll be announced probably tomorrow and in the community section, so notifications turned on would help you out with that. I've been doing top 5 videos recently. I did one for Thea Audio, they got so many. Also soft ears, and I thought the next one, because I just got a brand new set from Letshuoer, had to listen to it, compared it with a couple other Letshuoers that I have. That's my favorite right there, but let's move right along. This list, I love this actually. I love the border. I do this for myself, and I hope that people with ADHD or short attention span kind of like this, because you get all that you need pretty quick. Top right, you've got my personal preference of these sets ranked from 5 up to 1. On the bottom left, you've got the sets that I'd pick for each genre. Sometimes there's one that specializes in one, and then there's others that can do most all genres. And then on the right is technical performance, resolution, ability to pick up subtle nuances within tracks because of the high production quality of the master, and also the drivers within the earphones or headgear that you're listening to. Now, having said that, start with number 5. Number 5 would be the most recent one that I've got in my possession. That's the DZ4, which is a 4-driver dynamic driver. One is a passive radiator, which means that there's really no signal going. It's pushing and pulling with the volume of air changing by the drivers that are attached. A lot of systems do that. It can get you lower. Is one of the reasons that they use that. I think that the Galileo, and I'm not simping for Timmy, but honest to God, if you've got this set and you've got Timmy's set, it's very interesting how they tuned this, because they got less bass than Timmy's, which is already really borderline for me, but it's all dynamic drivers. So this is really something that seems more tuned, kind of like a moon drop. It's got more forward gain, it's got more gain in general, and it's got less bass. So it's interesting. But I'll put it at 5, along with the Galileo pretty much. Number 4 would be another, this is just a bass boosted version of the S12, so you could get the S12 and just mod it yourself. The Z12, which is a S12 variant, there's a few different versions of it, but just right out of the box, I think the Z12 would be the one that I would take, because I like its low frequency energy. Michael Bruce from Short Bus has a version called Glamdring, I believe it's called. I don't have my hands on that one, but it's he's got good ears. I think he might actually agree partly with the number 1 on this list, but I don't know because I haven't spoken with him recently. So he's got good ears. I trust his version of the S12 is probably good, and you might want to check that out. If he comments below, I'll let him link to the order page for that, and I probably will get my hands on it eventually. Number 3 is the next one. You'll see that there's 2 sets there. I put my own collab there and then thought, don't. So I took it out, but I put the original version of that, which is the EJ07M, and just pasted it over the top of it. I prefer my own version slightly better, even though they didn't hold true to the original Dream. But these are, it's a pick'em between the kind of lava or the EJ07M. The next one would be the Cadenza, which is the most expensive set. And then the number 1 for me would be the original OG EJ07. And before I continue, I want to say something. I did a video for this before. There's been a few times in this hobby since I've had this channel where people have come to me and said, thank you for the rec of some set. I'm done. My journey's over. This is what I've been looking for. And then they actually disappear. People do actually do that. And the set that's had that most, where they actually explain it to me, is the EJ07 original, where they say, you know, this reminds me of listening to music with my mother, which hit me deeply because music is memories, and I remember my mother. My library is very much of my mother's generation because that's what bonded me with my mom. And I've had at least 3, 4, if not more people come and say that same little thing where I'm reached the end. This is what I wanted. I didn't know it till I got it. Thank you so much. Take care. Good luck. Always about the music. And then they depart. That's the EJ07, which is this set right here, which is in CIM form. It's amazing. It hasn't gotten old. People talk about the treble, and there's not a lot of it. I listen to cymbals. I listen to all kinds of stuff. I listen to pianos, which have the fundamental harmonics go all across the audible spectrum for the human ear. From 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz, a piano exists within that range. There's no fall off. It's an amazing set. Now, after that rant's done, on the bottom left, if I were to pick sets for genres, I would take the EJ07, even though the bass profile wouldn't indicate it would be good for it. It is perfect. The Z12, or your EQ boosted S12, or the EJ07M were the three sets that I would take for. Letshuoer generally doesn't really do bass, really. It's their engineer's theory or something. I don't know what it is. And the latest set, the DZ4, kind of reinforces that, I guess. For rock, I would take the same sets, the EJ07, the S12 or the Z12 variant, and the EJ07M. For reggae, again, it would be the same sets. When we get into classical, it would be stuff like the Galileo, Timmy's collab, stuff like the DZ4, where that heavy note weight is not necessary, and it might clean out the mids for a higher perceived res playback. Female vocals seem to do better with Timmy's set, and they also seem like it's going that way with the DZ4. The cadenza, and also the EJ07 original does classical fine. The EJ07 does everything in my library. It's probably one of the reasons I'm absolutely in love with it. If I were to rank these technically, I would say that starting at the bottom would be the Galileo and the DZ4. The Galileo sounds great, but it's lacking in note weight for me. The extension's not really an issue. I think that's very much overblown. But the note weight, the DZ4 is even more. So I would take the Galileo over the DZ4. If the DZ4 came out with higher quality drivers, that seems to be a thing going on, I would switch it. The next would be the Z12 or the S12 or variants of. The next would be the 07M. And then the next would be the EJ07 original, and then number one for technical prowess would be the cadenza. And I know you're thinking of, oh, the most expensive one. The hardest to get is the one. There's something to be said about high quality drivers. It's what it is. Sorry. It does sound like a res beast, though it's really, again, not my top set. It would be the 07 right there. So again, if you're interested in the AP80 Pro X right there, comment below. You gotta be a subscriber. Like the video if you can. That would be awesome. I'm gonna give away the 5A7 to somebody that commented in a previous video where I said that they would get this, and that will probably be tomorrow in the community section. That's it. You guys have a nice weekend. Life is good, is it not? I'm loving being a father. It's so awesome. And I'm out.